What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie, here with...
Whew. What is going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs Worldwide. It is Ben here, Uncle Ben, America's favorite uncle, riding the smoke train, hashtag the Godfather. Back at it again with another We Are Wrestling extra-ish, I guess, but we're talking about the King and Queen of the Ring coming to you guys live this Saturday at Saudi Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia. It's going to be a fucking banger, and we got some pretty excited matches to talk about. But before we get into all that fancy mumbo-jumbo, Don, take it away, my friend.
That's right. And it wouldn't be a premiere live event without a We Are Wrestling pay-per-view premiere live event predictions. We're going to dive into all the matches, and we're going to talk about our thoughts on the build-up and what could be a really good show. But before we get into that, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're listening to these pay-per-view predictions, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download the episode. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, over on the YouTube channel, where you get the best pro wrestling content, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course you already know the grind is real. So when it comes to the pay-per-view predictions, I feel like I always have to put this disclaimer out to all the maniacs. If this is your first time listening to one of our predictions, we don't just pick the winners. We love to talk about the storylines. We love to really dive into the matches and just give our predictions, but in detail. So just want to put that out there. But Ben, we always start this off. How do you feel about the build-up to King, Queen of the Ring?
Honestly, it's been really nice because it's not even just, like a bracket, match list and everything. What's really great about it is a lot of it all makes sense. We got actual storylines woven into a lot of these matches that further a lot of these other things while also getting to the point of where we're going. And this has been a great buildup. Every single match that we're going forward with and all the winners that have been going and progressing into the bracket have felt significant into the final, spectacle, which is this Saturday. I think that we're in for a treat because where the card doesn't look super, stacked, if you will, big moments are going to happen. Shit's going to pop off in some way. And that's something I'm really excited about during this new era that we got going on with, WWE. It's breathtaking, it's refreshing. And solid build so far.
And I want to add something to what you were saying because it does feel fresh. I like that we're getting new wrestlers in the Premier Live events. I love that we're getting Big Bronson Reed. Love that we're getting Chad Gable finally. I feel like can't even remember the last time he actually was in a PLE.
Bro, we're getting a recent call up as well in the first match, Lyra Valkyria. Nobody ever thought she was going to be going against anybody of the statures of Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair, who depending on who wins on Friday to advance to the finals. It's great. I love seeing new stars that have the potential that people see being pushed and given a platform, win or lose. It's super exciting, and I'm going to talk about, who I think is going to win. I think that you're going to think I have a very interesting take. So I'm excited to talk about it. But it's great that they are bringing a lot of these people that have been, off of these PLEs into these PLEs and giving them significant, not only television time, but, a little bit of a push. We're going to be seeing them a lot more on the regular.
And that's also another thing I do want to talk about as well with the buildup. I will say, I know there's a lot of people in the IWC who aren't enjoying this transition from the draft to King and Queen of the Ring. It hasn't really been the best, but here's what I think. this card definitely has the potential of being a very good Premier Live event. And it's kind of relaxing because, in case, you're not a subscriber to the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, I do reactions. And a lot of the times I react to segments and promos. But when it is King and Queen of the Ring, leading up to the shows, there's not really that much segments to do reactions to. So for me, it's kind of like a little break, which I kind of like. And you get to watch some good old wrestling, which isn't a bad thing at times.
Yeah. You also got to keep in mind, like we're in a transitional period. One, we just got off Mania not too long ago. We're in the technical off season until, SummerSlam, where things begin to pick up again. We're going towards the end of the year with, Survivor Series, Crown Jewel, things happening like that. We got Money in the Bank eventually. There's a lot of things to look forward to, and we're going to be picking up that train very soon. But we're also in the transitional period of the stories are being told more so in the back, and we're getting a lot more action on screen. We're getting a lot more matches to tell those stories. So, you got to kind of let them cook in this particular moment right now, just because we're in a transition period. So
right now it's definitely like a process period. And I think that it's fine. Like, I like that we're getting little teases. Like, I like what they're doing with Braun Breaker right now on Raw. I like the teasing with the Creed brothers and Chad.
We'll get
also Otis involved.
No,
I like the little things that are going on.
Okay, as I don't go into too detail with all these other little details of matches yet.
No, like what I'm trying to say. No, I know. And what I'm trying to say is I like the little things that they're doing. Also with Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. I like what they're doing. And it's little things which like is hard for me to do reactions, but it's a nice little break. It's a nice break. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. But I will say, man, this definitely is a really good card for what it is. And honestly, I think the card could have been better if we didn't have the injury bug going on in WWE right now, because you also have to consider Roman Reigns, he's still on his break. Seth Rollins, he's, recovering from injuries. Rhea Ripley, she's not around right now. Dirty Dom, he's also on the sidelines. So there's a lot of people that are not able to compete right now. And I think for what it is, this is a pretty good card, in my opinion. I think it's better than the France Backlash.
Bro, I'm gonna give you a pass on that one. I'm gonna give you a pass on that one. I'll give you a pass. But without further ado,
like, I'm not talking about the crowd. Like, obviously the France crowd's gonna shit on the Saudi crowd, but
no, I'm talking about even
I think the match.
I thought it was better.
The match card has the potential of being better than Backlash. Well, except for the AJ and Cody match, obviously, because that was a 5-star. But
I'll still.
Hey, we're gonna have to wait and see.
We'll agree to disagree, but yeah, well, I'll give you a pass for that one. But without further ado, guys, let's get into the King and Queen of the Ring official match card, with the first match being the finals of the Queen of the Ring, which is Laya Valkyria versus Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill, depending on who wins on Friday Night SmackDown. Don, what's your thoughts on this?
So my thoughts on this, I actually really like the direction that they're going in for this Queen of the Ring tournament, because I'm not going to lie, I really thought that Io Sky was going to win on Raw, and I thought that it was going to be her versus Jade, probably, realistically. But I'm glad that we got the upset, because this is just a great way to establish a new star in Lila. I can't pronounce her name at all, so I do apologize to all the maniacs, all right? I'm going to get there. It takes time. It took me like almost a year to actually get Kaiser's name right from Imperium. So patience, my friend, patience. But I will say she is a fantastic performer, and I think that whoever it is, if it's Bianca, it's going to be a great match. If it's Jade, it's going to be an all right match. But I feel like realistically, it's going to be Jade who beats Bianca on SmackDown because they've been kind of teasing like the leg injury
The
that's going
feud.
on with Bianca. And I think it's going to be a great way to kind of tease that eventual rivalry we're going to get with Bianca and Jade. Because obviously, right now, they're the tag team champions, and having them wrestle each other, this is going to be like a good way to like see where they're both at. And then I think down the line, eventually, when they break up as a tag team, we're going to get a really good feud. And I think that it's going to happen at WrestleMania 41.
Oh, absolutely. I think that that's the end game. They're going to let them take the titles for a while, and then we're going to see those cracks and the eventual feud, which will culminate at WrestleMania.
I feel like it's going to
Um,
be Jade Cargill. I think she's going to beat Bianca.
and I think it's going to be for a title too. I think Bianca at some point is going to pick up a title, and I think Jade's going to eventually be the one to take it at 40. Um,
41.
41. Sorry, again. But yeah, when it comes to everything about the match, the build up, what makes sense, you basically nailed everything on the head and everything that I was feeling. It's just one of those things that it kind of it's just the writing's on the wall. It's there. So, and I think that story purposes, I think that I think it might honestly be Jade that wins and is going to be going to Queen of the Ring. And I think Jade is going to become the Queen of the Ring. I really do believe that. I think that that's where it's going to go. And that's what's going to start the eventual feud, obviously going forward. And I think that that's going to be the first very interesting angle. Cause I think if anybody is going to go into that moment being a heel, I have a feeling it's Bianca,
Nope.
especially with how they've been teasing her though, and how she's been, yeah, I don't know, man. I think that
Mm,
Bianca's gonna be the one going heel. I think
here's
she's gonna
why.
be the
Here's
one
why
going
I
heel.
think Jade. Here's why I think Jade's gonna go heel because on SmackDown they had a little segment in Nick Aldis's office,
Yeah.
and Jade Cargill asked Bianca, "How's your knee holding up?" And I think what's gonna happen in their match is Jade Cargill. She's gonna try to win because I think that they're gonna have a pretty lengthy match, and
Oh
then
yeah.
eventually she's gonna go after her knee because Bianca has talked about how like her knee is hurt. I think it's like
Yeah.
the whole storyline going on. And I think Jade's going to have to work that knee to win. And it's going to be kind of like a little bit of a dirty move. And then I think that's going to start to give us some cracks within their
See,
friendship,
here's
within their tag
where
team.
I can where I can give you that. I'm gonna give you a counter shit. I'm gonna
And
give you some
Jade's a
counter
great
shit to this.
heel, too.
I know that, but here's the thing though. Where I can counter that and still say that, and you can still have that dirty move. You can still have that dirty move. The big thing right now that has always been going on is how Jade Cargill is green. Yeah, she can use that knee to work it, and Bianca can be clearly frustrated. But if Jade Cargill can show some kind of remorse for it, actual remorse, and is, like, listen, I'm still learning X, Y, and Z, Bianca can eventually turn mega fucking heel and just implode. And eventually,
You could do that,
but here's the thing
but
though. Here's the
I
thing
don't
though.
know.
Here's the thing though. What better way to fix somebody's greenness than to have the perfect heel help put them over and to help them really learn?
Yeah, but then you're going to be stuck in like a Maxine Dupree situation, I feel like. And we don't need that for Jade. I feel like Jade
No,
works her.
no, I'm not.
Jade, when it comes to her work, she works better as a heel because she has the attitude and she has that star power about her, her presence. And I think that her being a heel in this situation is definitely going to do a lot more in the storyline with Bianca than just having her be the babyface. Because what's going to happen after that with
I don't
Jade as a
know.
babyface?
See, it's one of those things where and I love to say it, at the
Could
same
go either
time, but
way.
it's because they've been teasing a heel turn on both sides. And that's why I'm like, I don't know. I love big reveals, and this feels like they're building towards something unexpected, and I love that.
So who's the Raw woman again? What's her name?
It's Lyra Valkyria.
Valkyria. Does she have a
Lyra,
nickname at all by any chance?
no, just Lyra Valkyria. You can just say Valkyria if you want. If it's easier for you to
Valkyria.
pronounce.
I'm just gonna say Valkyria.
How
That
is
sounds
that
so much
easier
better.
for you than Lyra? How is that easier? How does that? Is it just easier to fucking say or some shit?
I have a learning disability, though. Don't come at me.
Listen, listen. Can you blame me for asking the hard question? Considering Valkyria is way more
Just
fucking hard
like
to pronounce
MJF,
than
I have
Lyra.
ADD. And I'm proud to have ADD.
Oh, hey, fuck it, same.
But I will say, Valkyria, I think that she's going to have a really good showing in this match. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually getting her name right now. Look at that. We're learning. But I think that the match I think if it was Bianca versus Valkyria, it could be a better match. But I think for storyline purposes, Jade versus Valkyria would be a better storyline. And that's why I think I'm going to have to go with Jade Cargill winning the Queen of the Ring.
See, I'm going to go with Bianca winning Queen of the Ring. I think she's going to prevail, and she's... Hey, if you want that heel turn from Jade, and if you really think it's going to go, Bianca will beat her because she's going to lack the experience, even with an awful leg, to beat her. That's going to frustrate Jade eventually. She's going to one-up her with everything. So I can see the heel side, Jade. So, I say Bianca.
Yeah, that is true because
or it's going to be a better match because it'd be squashed if it was Jade. It's just going to be a squash match.
Yeah, that's like where I'm at. Like with Bianca, it's going to be a better match. If it's with Jade, it's going to be better for the storyline purpose of the eventual match between Bianca and Jade. But I do think that it is going to be Jade Cargill as queen.
I got Bianca.
Alrighty, pretty interesting. But moving on now, before we move on to our next match, we do want to let all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs know that this Saturday for King and Queen of the Ring, Ben and I will be live on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel doing a live watch along. And this will actually be, I think, my first Saudi show that I'm going to be doing a watch along to. So I am pretty excited.
Yeah, bitch.
But moving on now to our next match on the card, we have a triple threat match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn defending the title against Chad Gable versus Big Bronson Reed. This is going to be a really good match, I think.
This is, again, one of those moments where I don't know who the fuck's going to win because it could go any way, including Big Bronson Reed. So they've been building him really, really, really good. So I just...
I like the way they've been building him.
And the thing is, he's the odd man out. So it's like, don't ever sleep on the odd man out, ever. I'm excited for this match because it's personal at the same time, and to have Otis there, that there's going to be a spot with Otis and Bronson Reed.
I feel like we're going to get Otis and Chad in a spot.
Same. I think that's going to be the downfall of Chad Gable. So I think ultimately it'll probably be between Bronson and Sammy. But I don't know. It sucks to say this, but I haven't been feeling Sammy's reign, man. It doesn't feel special.
I am so happy that you said that because that's how I feel too. And I feel like everybody thinks that. I think everybody thinks I'm crazy for thinking that.
No.
I'm over Sammy's run with the championship.
It should have been Chad Gable from the start.
Dude, Sami Zayn had his moment in Montreal. Like, he should have won the WWE Championship. Like, we've already seen him with the Intercontinental title, which is why I'm just not interested.
Still on that. Yeah, but no, I don't think
Sammy's got to go for the main event title, man. But he's a main event star.
No, he's not. He's the top mid-card guy at best, bro.
No.
You got to accept it.
I will not accept it. I will not.
Yeah, he got to.
He had the momentum going on. It's just timing wasn't on his side because Roman Reigns obviously was having one of the most historical title runs. If he wasn't having a historic title run, Sami Zayn should have won in Montreal. Like, that was his moment right there. Just like Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. It was his moment. But the difference between Sammy and Drew is Drew's picked up a lot of momentum since, and he really turned that pretty much like into his character right now with all like the trials and tribulations. With Sami Zayn, on the other hand, after he won the tag titles with Kevin Owens, it's just, I don't know. I haven't been a fan of his work, and it's so disappointing because I love him, and he's such a great wrestler, but just storyline-wise, nothing is just clicking with me with him.
I think
After the Bloodline stuff, I just lost interest in him.
Yeah.
And I hate
And that's
that.
why I think that Chad Gable's walking out IC champion and Saudi.
hope.
I think I think they're gonna correct a mistake. I think they're finally gonna give him his moment because he has beyond deserved it. So I'm gonna go with
I
I'm
feel
gonna go
like
with
the
Chad
Alpha is
Gable.
gonna cost them. I feel like they're gonna cost him, and I hate thinking that. I hope that I wouldn't mind if Gable or Bronson win. I do want a new IC champion because this run for Sammy's really not hitting. Like, yes, he's putting on great matches, but what else is there? There's really
Exactly.
nothing
And
else. And it
I think
sucks.
Sammy needs to take some time off is what I think Sammy
Yes.
needs to do. I think he needs
Sammy
to take a
definitely has
good
to take
6
time
months
away.
off. Take
I
6
agree.
months off, get back and, get into some shape, get into some better shape, figure out how you want to come back, whether that's a face or a heel, but make it compelling, but take time off from the road. He deserves it.
I don't
Dude's
even
been
think he
going
has to really change anything. He just needs time away from WWE television so that, like, when the Royal Rumble comes up or something, he gets
people are
that
hyped as fuck.
massive pop, and people are going to get very excited because he is such a talented, established star. He just needs
Yeah.
time away, I think, because
Yeah,
there's just
I
really
agree.
nothing interesting going on right now with him. So I wouldn't
I
mind if
agree.
Bronson wins or Chad Gable, but because of what's going on with Chad Gable, I'm going to go Bronson Reed. I think that this is the perfect opportunity.
I'm going to go Bronson.
To, like, just transition because obviously
Thank you.
Sammy and Chad, they're pretty much feuding now. They've been feuding the last couple of months, while Bronson is kind of just what you were saying in the beginning of this. He's like in the shadows. Like, he is just, nobody's thinking of him. He's the odd man out. And having him win the championship, you could put that championship in a new direction, especially with the WWE draft.
And it's been a long time since we've had a big guy holding the fucking title like that, which could add more prestige. The dude's a gifted ass wrestler.
Exactly. And especially with, like, the Raw brand, you have guys like Ricochet, you have Braun Breaker, who just got called up in the WWE draft. So you can have Bronson go on this long title run with the championship. And I think it would be something new and something interesting because sometimes I feel like a star that has potential, they just need that championship to really take them to the next level. And I think
Bronson needs it.
if he gets the Intercontinental Championship, people are going to start paying attention, and that's what they need. So I'm going Big Bronson Reed, man.
I got to agree with you, man. Big Bronson Reed.
And we know we're never going to hear the end of it from Danny, but I'm okay with that.
I love it. So, guys, next match is for the WWE Women's World Championship, Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Don, what's your thoughts going into this match, and what do you think about the build?
Liv Morgan better win.
Honestly, I'm right there with you because honestly, it makes sense. It's fucking time, and we're approaching Rhea Ripley's return date very soon, so it's gonna put on a real good feud. And
Give it
honestly,
to Liv. It's her time.
Dude, Liv, this feels like legitimately her time now.
Exactly.
Like,
Money in the Bank, when she cashed in on Ronda Rousey, it wasn't her time. Right now, it is her time.
I agree. And like I said, if she's hot right now, do not pass up the opportunity. Strike the fucking match while it's hot, bro. It's really good television. It's really good storytelling. And honestly, watch. Oh,
she wants to take everything from Mommy. She wants to take everything from her, including Dirty Dom and Finn Balor, because I did see that freaking clip online of Finn and Liv getting out of the car. So, like, I want Liv to take everything from Rhea so that when Rhea comes back, she has vengeance, revenge, and it's just going to make the match that we're going to get between Liv and Rhea mean more. And I feel like Liv needs to win the championship, It's her time right now. She's got the momentum. So I'm going Liv Morgan. And I just
Go
really
Liv
hope that
Morgan.
Becky doesn't retain. I really hope not.
I love how this was very short and sweet because, dude, you hit every single fucking string that I was feeling, dude. Dude, I
Liv
felt every
Morgan
single
needs
word
the win.
in my bones. Oh, dog, goosebumps,
Liv
goosebumps.
Morgan,
Yeah,
like I don't want her to win. I need
she
her to
need
win.
her to win.
Need.
My guy, we got the script.
I'm
We got the
I'm
script.
so glad we're on the
We
same
got the
page.
script.
I'm so glad we're on the same page. So Alex
Absolutely,
Johnson,
dude.
we're with you, buddy. One of our We
Hold
Are
on.
Wrestling
Acknowledge
Maniacs.
him. Acknowledge him.
So, moving on now to our next match on the card, we have the King of the Ring finals. And this match, it all depends on who wins on Friday. We could be getting Gunter versus Tama Tonga, or, which I think you and I definitely both agree on this one, Gunter versus Randy Orton in the King of the Ring finals for 2024.
Man, I think it's really safe to say 100% that it's gonna be Orton and Gunther. What better way to put over a star already in the making for main event status? I mean, we just got over his very long and what felt like a world heavyweight title run with the IC title. And what way to put him over than facing the Legend Killer, the Viper, the Apex Predator, the man responsible for a lot of cracked skulls via, a little boop to the head, if you know what I mean. Clunk. Um, I'm really, really excited for this match because it's going to be technical as fuck. And again, if there's anybody that's better at putting over talent, it's Randy Orton, 100%. And it just makes more sense, with Randy winning, it's going to further the story and it's going to further rivalries with the bloodline. Obviously, they're going to get involved if Randy wins against Tama Tonga, which is likely going to happen.
Yeah, because I can't
And
see
it's gonna
Tonga versus Gunter. I can't see a heel versus heel in the finals.
no, and whoever would think about that would be out of their goddamn minds. Like
Now, if Jey
like
Uso, if Jey Uso won on Raw, then I could see Tonga beating Randy.
yeah.
But I think, especially for Gunter, who obviously WWE has big plans for, it only makes sense
Huge.
to have him go into the finals against a legend like Randy.
And it's another person that, he's gonna beat, which is gonna put him on even higher status of, his credibility in the ring and his storytelling. So it just makes sense for someone like Randy Orton to be the one to put him over.
And the thing is, in case the We Are Wrestling Maniacs haven't checked out over on the YouTube channel, I did a tier list for every King of the Ring winner. And going into this video, one of the things I mentioned was I miss old school King of the Rings when it wasn't a king gimmick when you won. It was supposed to be it was supposed to be some type of catapult to take you to the next level. And that's the thing I miss about old school King of the Ring winners. And I feel like with Gunter winning the King of the Ring against a guy like Randy Orton, it's going to catapult him from being one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions to the main event picture where he belongs right now. And I
I
think,
mean,
this is going to bring back the King of the Ring, the prestige of what it is. Because if Gunter can bring back the
bro,
prestige to the Intercontinental Championship, I think he can bring it back to the King of the Ring tournament.
listen, man, one of the greatest pro wrestlers, entertainers, individuals of all time in the history of pro wrestling was made at King of the Ring in the 90s, and his name is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Exactly.
What better
just,
person to bring pristine back to that title again?
And just think about it too. Dude, Kaiser calling fucking Gunter, man.
King of the Ring General.
King of the Ring General. Just has such a beautiful ring to it. And honestly, I think that this match between Gunter and Randy in Saudi at King and Queen of the Ring is going to be the match of the night, in my opinion. And I think that
Dude,
these
it's gonna
two
be a
are going
banger.
to tear the house down. And I think it's
yeah.
the sole purpose why I am going to be a part of this live watch along with you on Saturday on the We Are Wrestling.
It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a banger. Like, there's no denying it. It's a banger.
This is going to be a classic.
It's gonna be a must-see match, bro.
And I hope that there's no, like, I really hope that the match is a clean win. I don't want anybody getting involved here. I want it to be Gunter versus Randy. Give us that 5-star classic.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, I do see interference from the bloodline. I do. That's the only way I see it making sense. It's not going to be clean, but it's going to be a hell of a match. And either way, that's what I'm looking forward to, is the match itself.
Definitely. So now, before we do get into our main event match, after King and Queen of the Ring, where do we go from here with Gunter? Because obviously, we have a long road ahead of us for WrestleMania 41. And I know there's a lot of speculation. I know you've mentioned it on the podcast before. You see him winning the 2025 Royal Rumble.
I do.
So what do you see from after King of the Ring to, like, the fall of this year? Like, what do you see happening after he wins? Because obviously they're teasing Finn versus Damian for the World Heavyweight title for SummerSlam.
You want to know what I think the next thing for Gunther is? And it's going to be a completely out of the box answer. And I don't know. I don't think you're prepared for what I'm about to say.
All
you want to know what I think you want to know what I think he's going to be up to after King of the Ring?
Yes, I do.
I have a feeling he's going to be tied up with Brock Lesnar.
Ooh, Brock Lesnar coming back. I
think he's going to talk about, now that he's King of the Ring, X, Y, and Z, and then you're just going to hear his fucking entrance. You're going to hear the music go off, and the crowd's going to pop.
Honestly, for SummerSlam,
because they've been teasing it, bro. They've been teasing it,
dude. That would be a perfect SummerSlam match for Gunter, because then after that, then Gunter can start focusing on the World Heavyweight Championship. I really like that idea.
I think he's going to be very preoccupied with the Beast Incarnate. So
great.
I think they're going to be doing that. Yep. I think he's going to be tied up with, a good lengthy feud for SummerSlam. So
all right, so we're getting the King of the Ring General Gunter. He is winning the King of the Ring, right?
Yep.
All right, so I got Gunter, you got Gunter.
Let's go. All right, guys. Main event time for the 2024 King and Queen of the Ring Saudi Arabia, PLE. We got the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul, the United States Champion, in a winners-take-all championship match.
Nope.
Don, what is your thoughts?
It will not be a winner-take-all, because Logan Paul was able to finesse his way out of defending the United States Championship during their contract negotiations.
Beautiful, because this is what I want to talk about. They're already teasing LA Knight and Logan Paul. They're already teasing it. That's why I was like, no, let's not go into fucking detail. They're teasing LA Knight and Logan Paul right before the contract signing, because right when Logan Paul was about to go talk to fucking Nick Aldis, you even fucking saw LA Knight come out there and said, see you later, chump. And then was looking right at that title and looking right at him. They are teasing. Dude,
LA Knight better be the next United States champion.
He is the next United States champion.
He needs to win either one or the other.
Bro, I see him winning both. Hot take, but I see him winning both.
Okay. That's interesting.
Because at that point, if he loses the US title at any point, he's still got something to look forward to. So,
hey, there have been some people that have had both the briefcase and the mid-card title. It has happened before, so I wouldn't doubt that. But I will say this is going to be a fun match. The only problem I have with this is Logan Paul's the United States champion. Cody's the WWE whatever champion. And I'd rather Logan Paul continue to defend his United States champion, because the last time he defended that title was WrestleMania. And there's a reason why the Intercontinental Championship is more prestigious than the US, because the Intercontinental were constantly getting title matches. But with the US, it's going to be almost 2 months since Logan's defended the belt. So why is he going for Cody's title? I think they should have just continued AJ Styles versus Cody. There's so much
Uh,
more story they could have done.
eh, I mean,
Unless you
yeah,
think
but
there's
it
somebody else
just
on the
I don't know.
SmackDown brand Cody could go against, because there's really not a lot
I
of
don't want to
people.
talk about a particular subject. I don't want to talk about this particular subject on the predictions. We'll talk about it Thursday. I'm sure. There's things about this title run that I'll get off my chest on Thursday.
All
But
right, so guys, check this Friday for the We Are Wrestling podcast. Ben is going to talk about his thoughts on the championship. Apparently,
yeah, I
throwing me a curveball.
yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on the podcast. But either or, this just kind of feels so weird. Like it just feels kind of like a random match.
It
So
feels
I don't know.
forced.
Very forced. And I don't know. I'm not feeling it, you know? It'll be a good one. Like I like both Cody and I like Logan Paul. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
I
I
just
think this is going to be a great match, but the story is just it's not there. It's really not
I
there. It feels like they're just like really forcing these opponents for Cody. Like we
I'm gonna
need
put out a hot
something
take.
natural to happen.
Well, I can tell you something that might naturally happen in the middle of Saudi. I
What do you
think
think's
LA
going to
Knight's
happen?
gonna cost Logan. I think LA Knight's gonna have something to do with Logan losing. I
I
think
could
it's
see
gonna
that.
have something to do with it. So I mean, dude, Saudi was chanting LA Knight's name and he wasn't even fucking there the last time they were in Saudi. Do you really think that they're not gonna have him in Saudi? They want LA Knight. So I think he's gonna be there. And I think he's
Yeah.
gonna have something to do with the match. Yeah. But yeah, I think obviously Cody's gonna win. They're not gonna fucking just drop, the title to Logan fucking Paul. Like it's no, no, you're out of your fucking mind. It's just gonna be a very good selling match for money purposes. It's just one of those
Definitely.
things. He needs to face every big champion. It's Logan Paul. It's their fucking sponsor. It's one of those things, and Saudi's the best
And
place
he
to
he
put
did
Logan
make a
Paul in the
lot
main
of
event.
money against Roman Reigns too. You do have to
It's
consider that a
Saudi,
couple years ago.
so and Logan Paul is hot in Saudi. So win or lose to have him there is money. So notice that Logan has only headlined in Saudi. So it makes sense for that purpose alone.
That is
That's
pretty
why they
true,
did
and
it.
I think that's
That's
definitely a
why
good
they did it.
perspective. I
That's
will
why they
say.
did it. It's a money pulling match. He was in the main event with Roman, huge fucking numbers, put on one of the greatest matches we've ever seen in WWE history at
Big
Saudi.
viral moment too when he jumped off into the table.
Roman was the champion at the time. Now it's Cody. Let's put him in the main event against the current main event champion at Saudi Arabia. Another big money. Boom. Done.
So now my only issue with this is obviously the champion versus champion, which they tried to fix on SmackDown with the whole contract negotiations. But I feel like this isn't being talked about in the wrestling community. And I feel like I want to be the one to start this conversation.
What's
I
up?
feel like Triple H's WWE, it seems like when the fans are against something, they always like backpedal their way and they try
To
to
try to
fix
fix
it.
it.
And this is something
See,
that I feel like is not being talked about because remember, Cody was supposed to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship because they wanted
yeah.
Rock versus Roman. And despite like what people thought, WWE had to backpedal and they were able to fix the problem that they had.
And it
And I
came
feel
out
like
great.
and I feel like with Logan, this is what they also did. And but here's the part that scares me the most about WWE just backpedaling and hitting the reverse. I feel like at
Yeah.
some point it's going to get ugly and it's not going to help WWE whatsoever. Right now, they're getting a little lucky, but the luck will not last forever. And I feel like eventually something is going to happen where WWE is going to try to backpedal and the fans are finally going to start to see like what's happening because it's not
Yeah.
being talked about.
No, I agree.
It is a money
And
thing with Logan and Cody. It makes
and
sense.
with this culture, no, with this fucking culture, man, people are like, oh, even silence is an answer. It's like, no, I just don't want to fucking bring that up because it's not a big fucking deal to me. Like yeah, whatever. It just, yeah, it's one of those fucking things, man, where you're not gonna please everybody. But here's the thing: WWE is actually doing really good about, if they're gonna backpedal, they've been doing
No,
it
no, and
really well.
yeah, no, like of course, like they are doing well right now,
But you think
but
that eventually it's gonna come back to bite them?
eventually they're going to get a flat tire when they're friggin' backpedaling because
Oh,
eventually it's
of
going to catch
course.
up to them. Like in the beginning of AEW, it happened. Like they backpedaled on a couple things because they listened to the fans, and then eventually they lost a
They just
lot of
stopped.
momentum because of it. So like that's
Yeah.
the part that scares me. I'm probably going to do a full episode on hot takes eventually talking about this because it's definitely something
Yeah.
I feel very passionate about. But I will say this, just pretty much just we can all just be happy. Cody Rhodes is going to retain the championship and they're going to have a great match.
Yes, they are.
Everybody's happy.
Happy, happy.
So pretend I didn't just say all that stuff prior. Cody Rhodes is going to win. This is going to be a good
Yes, he is.
match. But is
Yes,
there
it is.
anything else, Ben, you see happening at King and Queen of the Ring? Any appearances, any returns, just anything in general?
Huh. I don't know. Like I said, and I'm honestly okay with not knowing because I don't get my hopes up now, but I am very open and welcoming and very embraceful when something does happen. And I've learned since 2021 that anything is possible, and I run with it. Now I just kind of run with it, and I just kind of let the story tell itself because it's been such a good hot streak. We've been on a good run. Has it been perfect? No, but it's been keeping me compelled and wanting more. And I'm excited for the twists and turns, and I'm here for the ride. So, I don't really, I don't have those feelings anymore. I don't have
Yeah, that's
those like,
fair.
I don't have those things that I wonder what's going to happen unless it's a very, very talked about subject or something is like obviously like picked up and there's a very apparent that there's something big happening. Um, so yeah, I have no, I keep an open mind. I'll leave it there. I keep an open
And
mind.
and honestly, like I'm going to leave it as this. I don't know what to expect, which honestly makes it a little bit more exciting going into King and Queen of the
Yeah.
Ring, just like you said. And honestly, I think that this card really does have the potential of being a really good, underrated PLE. And that's the reason, why I'm going to be joining you this Saturday on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel for the live King and Queen of the Ring watch along. And it's going to be an eventful week for pro wrestling. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, let us know in the comment section below your predictions for King and Queen of the Ring. We want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this, smash that like button out. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're listening to the predictions over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download the episode. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already over on the YouTube channel, this Saturday, King and Queen of the Ring, Ben and I will be doing a live watch along, and we love interacting with the Maniacs. So hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. The link's down in the description below. You can go follow Ben and I over on our social medias and our personal YouTube channels as well. I'm doing toy videos. Ben is doing music reactions. You can go check all that out. The links are down in the description below, which I don't even know if you can check the links on your audio stuff. So you need to go to YouTube and subscribe. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.